Finding a job took a lot of work. You prepared, searched, filled out applications, and went on interviews. Congratulations! But you probably don't want to do that again. So now you need to do the things you can to not only keep the job, but to succeed at it too. There will be things you'll like and love about your new job, and things that you won't. Every job has its challenges, ups and downs, and sometimes its struggles. There might even be days when you feel like giving up. You may have to push through these feelings, but difficulties don't have to determine your ability to do well and stick with your job.
So right now I have a job just delivering tacos, but what I'm really looking for is a CNA job, and I think that how it's going to change my life is, I've kind of already mentioned like changing lives, and that's really what I look forward to in like what I'm going to work with my CNA.
Minimum wage is alright when you're a teenager, you're still in school, even when you're in college and you're going to school, but I'm definitely trying to look for a better job now. Like I said, I'm trying to get an apprenticeship, and that's going to be based off if they need me or not, or what kind of qualifications I have.
I would like to get my hands into everything, basically. So I want to be able to say, okay, I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. I've done factory jobs, I've done customer service. Only thing I haven't done is the restaurant.
So today we're going to talk about how to start off on the right foot when you begin your new job, and what it takes to be successful in the long run. It's not hard, but it does take commitment and a willingness to do the work. You'll want to start off on the right foot. First impressions matter. In fact, research suggests that bad first impressions are hard to shake. So let's look at what making a good first impression looks like. Be on time. Make sure you know traffic patterns and leave in plenty of time to arrive 5 to 10 minutes early.
My advice to you is always show up 10 minutes early. Always come with something that you want to accomplish for the day, and you'll succeed.
Be friendly. Getting along with coworkers is really important, even if they're not friendly with you at first. Don't get caught up in gossip. Sometimes coworkers want to share the bad about other coworkers, the boss, or the company. Don't participate in that. Just politely let the one sharing the gossip know that you're really excited about this job and you hope you'll be able to get along well with everyone. Have a great attitude. Be willing to jump in where needed, help out where you can, and don't criticize how things are done. Once you know the job fully, then you can offer suggestions on how you can do things more efficiently. Do your job even when your boss isn't there to supervise. That's what makes a great first impression and employee. Your boss needs to know that you're reliable. Now let's look at things you can do to be successful in the long run.
I wouldn't say I'm completely responsible yet. I am not 100% yet, but I would 100% say that I am much more responsible and much more mature than I was when I got here.
I enjoy working. I like to feel like I achieved something for the day, but with my line of work that I'm in, helping people is definitely something. Just getting to be a difference and a change in their lives is really important.
It's a given that you have skills for the job. I mean, that's why you were hired. Being successful takes more than just good job skills. Practice emotional maturity. This is the ability to handle emotionally difficult situations without losing your cool. This means that if you make a mistake, accept your part in it and don't make excuses. Don't cast blame on others. If a dispute happens with another employee, stay calm, don't lose your temper, and try to resolve it kindly. As tough as it is, if your boss gives you a bad review, have a good attitude and be eager to accept suggestions on how to improve. Be willing to adjust and adapt to the needs and expectations this job brings, even if it's hard to do. Look at problems as opportunities. If you're struggling in one or more areas, then look at them as opportunities to grow. Try not to get discouraged or give up easily. Maybe you need more training or to take a class to improve that skill. Talk to your boss about what you need to do to improve. Show a willingness to dig in and do what it takes to do well. Remember, no one is perfect, and your boss likely doesn't expect that. Being teachable, approachable, and trainable is what he will really appreciate. Keep personal problems out of the workplace. I know it's hard when problems hurt and weigh heavily on our minds. Relationship issues, money struggles, kids, or other challenges can occupy a lot of the space in our heads. It's easy to want to talk about them, but work is not the time or place to do that. You can let your boss know that you're struggling with something serious. You don't have to share all the details, but sharing the issue may help them to be more understanding, especially if you need a little time off to take care of it. It's okay to let others know you're facing a tough challenge, but it should never interfere with getting your work done. If you have coworkers that you're close to, then get together with them after work to talk, but don't do it at work. It takes a lot of maturity not to let personal problems affect your ability to do your job well. Keep yourself focused on work when you're there. Have a strong work ethic. This is the effort of hard work and discipline shown through good habits, motivation, attitude, follow-through, and attention to detail. This means ignoring personal text messages, emails, or phone calls while at work. Focusing on the details of what you're working on and completing tasks without being reminded. Doing your best job every day. Showing good effort and willingness in everything that you do. And pushing through the hard challenges with a good attitude and effort. Showing up to work on time and being ready to work hard each day. And being willing to do more than what's expected.
Work ethic. Work ethic is huge. Showing up to work every day with motivation. Loving what you do. I think that's definitely a big thing.
In the past, yes, I've had to fire numerous people for various type of thing. Not showing up to work, stealing, that's not even okay. Our philosophy here is if you really, really need something, it's better to ask than to just take it.
Don't steal. Okay, that might sound a little harsh, but let's talk about what stealing looks like. Stealing is taking something that doesn't belong to you. So when you're at work, what things don't belong to you? You might answer the obvious like money or company property, but you'd be surprised at how many people have no problem with taking home copy paper, notepads, paper clips, pens, and more from the businesses they work for. Or food service employees taking food they're expected to pay for, or taking home to-go containers for their personal use. Anything your company pays for are their resources to be used for company needs only, and not your personal needs. But let's look at another resource that few think about, and that's your time. When you're on the clock, your time doesn't belong to you. It belongs to your boss.
My boss makes $1 and I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time.
Time is a very expensive resource. So if you're playing games on your phone, talking or texting, doing personal searches on the internet, socializing with coworkers, taking extra breaks or a long lunch, lots of smoking breaks, or other personal things, then you're stealing from your company. Don't be the one who does those things because they will be noticed. You probably realize that many of the things you can do to be super successful don't have anything to do with your job skills, but have everything to do with your character and ethics. That's good news because those are things that you can grow and improve upon all throughout your life. It takes making a decision to do the right things every day, even when you don't feel like it. Even when you feel like your boss or the company doesn't deserve it. That's right. Every time you make a choice to do the right thing, even if you don't think your job or boss deserves it, you grow as a person and an employee. And you will take those good ethics and good habits to future jobs. If at some point you no longer feel like your job is worth it, then continue to do the right things, but look for another job where you will be better appreciated. You've heard the expression, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. This doesn't mean leaving and quitting. It means digging in and working harder to get through a tough situation. Let's look at what that means in the workplace.
Endurance.
Working hard.
It's the only thing to it. You have to be able to endure life. Long, long, long days. One of the best things I like about what I do is the fact that there's not a lot of people you have to deal with except the client. And other than that, as long as you know what you're doing, you're your own boss. So,
Working through people conflicts. We all have people we don't get along well with, or at all. They rub us the wrong way, or they don't like us and show it. Or they cast blame to deflect from their own failings. Many jobs have people like that, and you have to learn to navigate through those tough situations. Conflicts with people are hard and unpleasant to deal with, but how you handle it will help determine your success at work. So what do you do if someone blames you for something you didn't do or spreads untrue rumors about you to undermine you? First, ask yourself if you played any part in the situation. Be honest with yourself. If you did, no matter how tiny, own it. Go to that person and try to resolve the issue. If you feel like anything you say or do may be misrepresented, then take someone with you. Be fair, own your part, apologize for it, and try to get resolution. If that doesn't work, then ask to meet with your boss and the employee. Stick with the facts and try to keep any emotion out of the situation. Do not try to get even with that employee. Let your boss help in the resolution of the issue if the two of you can't work it out alone. The point is to try and heal the working relationship, if you can, with the employee. You don't have to like each other, but you do have to work together.
I think that a perk was meeting all the different personalities, but it's definitely a downfall too. You don't connect as well as with other people. I mean, I guess you just cope with that.
It's more high school kids, so there's a turnaround on that because, you know, they're young, it's their first job, and if they have a fallout with another employee, which has happened, they're not sure how to handle those kind of things, and they're like, I'm done.
Workers would be some of the issues, but you move on and you move past it. Other than that, I haven't really, like I said, I really hated a job and won't ever go back to it.
When you're failing at your job, this is the hardest problem to face. You may like your boss, the people you work with, and the company, but can't handle the work. It can feel defeating and depressing. You may even feel like giving up. Companies invest a lot of money in new hires and training, so rather than quitting, first try to find a way to grow in your job. Talk to your boss about suggestions for how to improve your skills. There might be a class you can take, or training, or an online certification. If you don't have the skills to do the job, then see if there's another job within your company that would be better suited to your skills. Employers value good, honest employees, so if they can move them around rather than let them go, they will.
Turnover rates, well, you definitely want to minimize the turnover rate. You will go through some employees until you get the right crew. Current crew here, most of them have been here 8+ years.
If you cannot redeem the job, then look at it as a growing experience. You are never a failure for trying your hardest. Next time you interview, make sure the job lines up with your skills. Make sure you don't over-represent your training or your experience. If it's an area you would like to work in, then take some time to get the training that you need. Facing challenges or problems at work is never easy, but how you handle them will determine whether you grow in your character and work ethic.
And so the struggle is just trying to relearn and not get discouraged and just push on and keep going and keep studying so I can get the test done and I know that when I do get it, I'll feel so good.
My dream job, I want to be able to own me personally, no one else, own daycare centers around the United States. I have the credentials. I don't have the experience, the on-hands experience, I'm gonna say. So I'm settling for working at a daycare center and working through that. And
like my mom always tells me, it's so difficult at this age, like when you graduate high school, because you're so confused on what you want to do with your life, and so you don't know what to do. So like I don't want to necessarily jump into a career that I'm not going to be happy with, that I'm not going to like. I like to be like more like hands-on with stuff, you know. And I think I also really thought about doing welding. How you live with yourself, like are you a good person? Do you respect others? Do you get respect? Do you take care of your family? Like, you know, all that good stuff. Are you being a good person in general? If you're a hard worker, you know, you work your way up to a certain spot that you want. So yeah, just a hard worker and a good person.
I measure success by the smile on customers' faces, and not the dollars in the cash register, but attitudes of people. I don't drive a Ferrari. I don't have 6 digits in the bank. But to me, that's not success. Success to me is, where are you at in life? How are you in your heart? Are you angry? Are you honest with people? Kids, family. If all those things are good, that's how I measure success.
Finding a job is work, but keeping one is even harder work. In addition to good job skills, it requires a good attitude, being dependable, being on time, and not getting caught up in workplace gossip. But it takes even more than that to be successful. It also takes handling your emotions with maturity, treating others with kindness, resolving problems, and using good integrity in the workplace. When you do these things, you'll be successful not only at work, but in life too. Enjoy your new job. You're well on your way to being successful at it.